Hello, this is Shirley from Alaska, the herb lady. And I just seen my daughter put up raspberries for this week, and that's going to be really good. But this week I'm going to be talking about bayberry. First time I ever heard about bayberry, I was in a class for a week down in Las Vegas with several doctors. And this doctor was talking about her clinic in Florida. And she was using bayberry, and I thought, well, I need to learn about bayberry because nobody's ever asked for bayberry in my shop. And she said that these young boys walked in and they had used cocaine. They sniffed it or whatever they do with it. And they got polyps up in the nose. And they didn't want to go to the hospital to have them cut out. So she said, they said, do you have anything that can get rid of them? She said, sure. She said, you get a bayberry and put it in a canister, like a 35 millimeter, and put the capsules in there, shake it, and then you sniff it. And like they did cocaine, but they sniffed bayberry. They started doing it, and they came back and got more and more and more. And she said, what are you doing with all this? They said, oh, the polyps are gone. And they said, we like sniffing this better than cocaine. She got them off of cocaine by bayberry. And bayberry is just one that just tightens up your mucus and everything. But it was so funny. She thought it, and she said they'd sent a whole bunch of young people to her clinic, and they all was buying bayberry. So bayberry has this, helping. And I'm going to show you some more things that it can do because I didn't realize it till she got me, looking into it. Bayberry is considered one of the most useful herbs there is. But nobody's ever came in and asked for it. It says bayberry is an astringent, and astringent means to tighten up, and so that's really good because most time when you eat sugar or drink coffee, you're flabby. It promotes greater firmness of the tissues. Astringent cleanses mucus and helps to stop hemorrhaging. Bayberry is useful for colds and heme, given off from the brain to the eyes to the lungs. And heme is it's a white mucus that comes out of your eyes. And dogs have it, cats have it, and we have it. And it says it's naturally discharged from the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. And it dries and gathers, and sometimes it can be crusty in the corners of the eyes. But if you take bayberry, it will stop it. And sometimes it's bacteria, and we spray Silver Shield on the dogs and cats' eyes, and that stops it too. So if it's a bacteria, you want to use that. But if it's just from your having too much mucus in your eyes, then you can use bayberry. The Choctaw Indians in Louisiana boiled the leaves and stems and used it for a fever. It improved digestion, tones, it heals the gland. It restores the mucus system to normal function without drying the mucus out. You don't want completely dry, and you don't want you want it just in balance. And if you really read about these herbs and really get a good teaching on these herbs, that's what they do. They only feed, and who made them? God did. And they only balance your body. It cleans the liver, it tones the circulatory system as well as all the tissues in your body. Now that, I put an X beside that one. That one is good. Bayberry helps a weak circulation, is good for the age, and being 77, I must be an age person who needs to stimulate a stimulating drink. And it helps with your back, your lumbar back. If it's in pain, it will help get rid of it, and it will help the urinary tract. Bayberry is positive influence for the uterus and for any female problems. And people says, oh, I'm past having babies. I don't need to take care of my hormones. Oh, yes, you do. If you don't want your hair to fall out and you don't want weak bones, you want to take some kind of herbs to balance those hormones. And with men, they want to take herbs to balance, or they have enlarged prostate. You don't completely die because you're not having children. You just stop that in your age, but you got to remember it can happen at any time, because just look at Sarah in the body. She had a baby at 90. So anyway, you never know what's going to happen. It is one dependable remedy for hemorrhaging And a weak tea, you can even use it for a douche. Bayberry will strengthen and restore a prolapsed uterus and will induce contractions during childbirth. Now you got to remember, it doesn't happen overnight like a prolapsed uterus. But if you keep taking it, it tightens it up, it strengthens it up, and if you work towards it, I've had a couple of ladies that has helped themselves. Bayberry constricts the stomach membrane and inhibits the absorption of poison. I thought that was really good, that it tightened the stomach up so much that if there was anything that it could tell poison, and it would not let poison go into your system. Bayberry aids digestion and blood, and it helps with tissues that are feeble and flabby. I never thought about tissues being feeble, but feeble and flabby. Bayberry is recommended for bleeding and spongy gums. Bayberry, now this is where it says about the nasal. Bayberry for nasal stoppage or inflammation of nasal polyps. Sniff the powder only in a small amount carefully into the nostril, holding it. You sniff and you hold this now and you sniff it in. And it's also good for sore throats. Bayberry is good for the skin trouble, such as skin ulcers, sores, boils, carbuncles, and it will benefit just taking the tea. Bayberry combined with cayenne, it helps restore heat to the body. So if you got somebody that's always cold, most time it's your thyroid, but if you're cold, take bayberry and cayenne together and sip it as a tea. And if you want more taste to it, put a little bit of lemon in it. But that really helps. And it assists in rapid elimination of mercury from the system. It even takes heavy metal out of your system. Bayberry is primarily used for candle making, and I didn't know that. The way it remove the berries from boiling water, and they will float on top, and when they cool, you remove them, and it's pale green, and they're better than beeswax, it says. It burns with a clear white and produces little smoke and has a very good fragrance. And the wax has also been used for soap and for shaving leather. A bushel of bayberries will yield about 4 pounds of berries, yield and about 1 pound of wax. Have a great day.